So this is a proper update video, this one. Well, I hope so. I had to turn the fire off. It's a little bit noisy, a bit cold. Got a Land Rover Discovery in for a head gasket. TD5 it is. Yeah. It's meant to have had a new cylinder head. And the head gasket done, but it pressurizes itself still. So what I am going to do is do the head gasket on it like I've been asked to, and suggest new rad cap and thermostat, because I don't know if it's been cooked or anything, so I could try all that and put time in it and it'd still not be any better than what it is. Still drivable, still like the black Transit. So the black Transit, the crew cab, that was pressurising, so I've done the head gasket on that. Still got to fix some bits of that actually. Got a new lift pump for it. So if there's any people that have Mark 5 recovery trucks, that's a lift pump, fits at the side of the engine. I put it back together, and it was reading high. I bought one of these aluminium thermostat housings specifically for the turbo one, because it has the back sensor in for the turbo, and then that hole there is for the normal temperature gauge, but it was reading high and it would creep up to the red, so either there was something still amiss in it, or it was. So I ended up buying that from Poland. You can get them in the UK from Transit Parts, but I bought that one from Poland because it had already been tapped for the turbo sensor. This is a thermostat from, no, not that one, not that one. Where are you? There we go. This is a thermostat from Euro Car Parts, so not entirely sure what temperature this one opens at. So remove that and put the genuine one that was in it that I drilled 2 holes in, so my brother could still use it before I could do the head gasket on it. I think that was it, and then on building it up I broke an injector. So on the Transits, the leak off rail, or the leak off pipe connection, is plastic, which is that plastic bit there. So I'd snap that off. I had to rub one off the chassis cab, white chassis cab we've got, but runs now. It says there's a whine on it, but I knew about that. Need to do a wheel bearing. Rob this bolt gauge, if you remember, that I got for the Volkswagen Beetle. So I'll use that on that, just so I can measure voltage. Some pointers for the other ones. So this is the chassis cab we've got. Someone had done some welding on it, but might want redoing or just going over, and yeah. And this is the spec lift we got. So this, we actually bought this. I did the timing belt, water pump, and put service bits on it. So bought it with a snap timing belt, sorry about the dodgy video. Snap timing belt. I think this is a Mark IV, like the because with the dash. That the chassis cab is a genuine Mark V, but this one is a Mark IV. Wants bits and pieces still doing to it. Got a volt gauge in this one. This one, it's had the starter messed about with, so you have to stall it to stop it on this, and the diesel pump's been turned up. I also need to do a puncture repair on this today, and probably change diff oil or top them up in the gearbox, and the gearbox as well on the black one. Yeah, tappets were done. All I did was on this one, because the belt had snapped, so it bends the push rods. Pull the push rods out, reshape them, and build it all back together. Redid the tappets. It doesn't sound too bad. So I said you have to stall it to stop it, because you can just turn it off at the ignition and it won't do it. It's been messed about on the exciter wire on the starter. That blue wire there that goes to it, that's been doctored up to it, which way I have to stall it. But other than that, it's not a bad man. This is the spec lift one. Different pump to what the black one uses is Lucas Epic or Epic pump on the black one, which is electronically controlled. This one is just throttle controlled, just carries on pumping, and then will pump more the higher RPM. Well, you pull the throttle on it, the more it pumps out. Show you on the bonnet of the spec. If I can find the bonnet release. So typical Transit. It's not going to open for me this now. We'll come back to that. Right, we got it open. Typical Transit, they always fail on the catch on the bonnet release, so you just usually put a cable tie. Need to put some longer ones on it, but so yeah, redid this one, pull the manifold, or at least the half section of the banana off banana. It's had new air filter, fuel filter, oil and filter, new thermostat, new rad cap. Yeah, that's it pretty much on this one. Let's turn radio off. Got the fire on. Some bits stripped off it. Valve covers off. Top pipes off. Intercooled pipes off. Bits of wiring that wrap round. Just taking the AC pump off now. I'll take the belt off. And I'm just going to try and leave as much in place as possible, so you can just literally move it over. So turbo, instead of removing it, I'm just going to try and like I did with the Transit, just unbolt the manifold and move it to the side. Inlet manifold, obviously, take that off. Then obviously it's a timing chain, this one. So top pipe there, which is the plastic, I took that off and there was still pressure in it from yesterday when I drove it here. So the thermostat is down there, that plastic bit, that's the thermostat. So I'm kind of thinking it's not worth me just changing the thermostat and not doing the head, because I don't know if it's been cooked or what. It's an AMC cylinder head. They have done the head gasket but was pressurising, so I'm kind of wondering it's either going to be the cap or the thermostat, but do the head gasket anyway, as in I don't think they're to show themselves if it's something they've done, and I'm not really into do the thermostat, put a rad cap on it, and then I think them thermostats are 70-80 quid anyway. I could be wrong, could be cheaper. It's been a while since I've done anything Land Rover, Range Rover based. I mean, this is the first diesel Land Rover I've worked on. I've done head gaskets on like V6, L200 Mitsubishi Warrior things. They were LPG'd, and Range Rovers, the 4.4 V8s, have done them. Or at least the usual stuff that goes on. I've done the transmission, or gearbox I should say, the oil change, and you put a new filter on it, and you buy that 80 quid a litre or whatever oil it is with that additive in it for the box, because otherwise the boxes go on it. Like the Range Rover stuff, they have on the V8s, they've got the breather pipes side to side, balance the vacuum or the combustion gases or the vapour inside the engine, balances that out, but the pipes are not made for oil, so they concave themselves and then creates too much back pressure in the engine, and then you end up with rocker covers leaking, you end up with oil filter housings leaking, because the oil filter on the 4.4 V8 Range Rovers, the L322s, is here. They leak, rock cover leaks because the rear pipes, the breather pipes, are concaved in and engine can't breathe properly. Yeah, that's it really. I need to move some cars about today. I was gonna see how far I get at 1 o'clock while it is a Sunday, and I've got work tomorrow anyway, so don't want to be doing it too late here. So I've still not done that puncture on the spec lift, because my extension bar decided to crack, so I need to get. I've got some at work. They're only them Bergen set that I use at work, the 1/2 inch stuff. Not sure what this is. It's just a chrome vanadium cheap extension 1/2 inch bar. So it'd be worth buying a snap-on one. I don't know. So I've not done that. Still waiting for my brother to come, so we're gonna have a change about the tyre. I've still not done that wheel bearing on that Transit yet. He tells me there's a noise, so I need to get some MT75 gearbox oil and some EP8090 diff oil and do them, change them. When I did the turbo, sump plug won't come out of the sump, it's tight. I had the first place I worked at, they had LDV convoys and Mark 6 Transits, but they were all petrol, so the Mark 6 had the 2.3 Galaxy engine in. It was wrong. Yeah, Transit had gloopy engine oil in it. So when I was at my first workplace as an apprentice, they had LDVs and Transits, and I went through the same situation where sump plugs was seized into the sump. Right, cylinder head's off, fire's going, it's getting a bit cold now. I've not had a look where it's gone. However, we've got, I think, traces of K-seal. which is probably why they wanted the head done. I wonder if they said, because you've still got cross hatching on the bores there. See the cross hatching? So either the blocks recently been built, they've bought it and then chucked it in, I don't know. So yeah, that's how we've ended up, just everything tossed to the side and away you go. Cylinder heads here, just leave it on the crane just so it doesn't fall. It's just resting on some wood boxes, and I'll pull the valves out of it, so I can lap them, pull all the bits of all that off tomorrow night after work. Soon going to do valve spring compressor. There's the cam, so you have a cover that goes on there, so your cam goes there, end bolts through there, and that holds that cover on to hold the cam in position. So there's a front cover, or a front oil seal cam cover cap. There is a little notch there where you just screwdriver or a little pick it out. Small bag is the inlet ones, big bag is the exhaust ones, so they've got the hydraulic it'll come to me in a minute, hydraulic anyway, adjusters, and then you've got your roller rockers there, and obviously got all the nuts and bolts bagged up, head bolts there, quite long, rocker shafts there, tappage. Sorry mate, phone storage. Right, cleared some stuff off, so yeah, that's the loom bit for the injectors, that's the plug that sits down into the cylinder head. So tidy up my tools, put them back in my work bag for tomorrow, and go home. So the fella that owns that, it's his son, who I look after a Jeep Cherokee 4.7 V8 on gas. To be honest, it's not a bad one to do so far anyway. I've not locked the crank. I'll show you the tensioner in a minute. Looks like it's had new guides in it. So all you do, there's a slot in the top where the bolt goes to lock the cam, and there's just 3 bolts that hold this on. So that can just rest there and then see what it's like. Thermostat's down there, so ideally I would like to change that, or at least I need to take it off tomorrow night and see if I can test it to see if it opens and closes. That should be that. I noticed as well I've got a few comments on the transit video. I think they were for the pump removal on the Mark 6. It's just so with the comments. Some people didn't like the video, some did. But if you don't like it, just put a thumbs down. There's no need to be like, oh, I need to go kill myself now and all that other crap. But yeah, I'll get this sorted. But it's an AMC cylinder head that is on it. Send that away to Lane Ends in Prescott. They've been doing cylinder head skimming and engine work for 40 plus years. Send it them, leave the injectors in it, give them, because the fella come before and dropped me a box of stuff off at the top and bottom injector seals. So I'll let them and do that. And I think we should be all good. That's my old toolbox. I mainly just use the top box for when I go racing. Chuck spanners in it, and Imperial metric spanners, bits of Imperial metric Allen keys, screwdrivers, things like that. So yeah, old Clio, the X-Reg one, scrapped that. There, the alloys off it. Scrapped it yesterday, Saturday. The coupe outside that wants scrapping. Need to take that syringe back. It wouldn't even pull the oil up on the Transit, so sump plug on that was seized. I have had issues with other Transits before for seizing sump plugs and LDVs. So all I did with that was got my brother to crank it with the oil filter off, just to dump oil out. And once it started spluttering, called it that, new oil filter on and fresh oil, and then put some goo around the sump plug. Just stops vibration and stops it backing out. And then I had an issue with the, where did he go? They went Leicester picking that coupe up, my dad and my brother, and then earth wire had come out. Is bad threads where they go into the block, or at least to the gearbox. So sorted that. Well, once redoing, I put longer bolt, bit of Loctite and a bit of silicone over the top just to dampen the vibration off it, stop it backing off. And that's it really. Got rid of the 2-post ram. That went just, it was too big for the height that we've actually got in here. So yeah, that's it. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe if you like the content. If you don't like the video, thumbs down. Please leave a message how I can make the videos a little bit more enjoyable, a bit more content in them and bits and pieces like that. Yeah, thanks for watching.